Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here's all my contact information. Please join my Facebook business page. In the month of June, I gave out something every week. In July, we're going to go back to the every other week. And of course, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, watch to the end, and share with all your crafty friends. Well, I have to tell you, today we are going to tackle a never-ending card. This is the one we're going to create. I got one from my friend Georgia, and it was so cool. I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't tackled this. Then I got one from my friend Amanda, and it's just a great card. So I decided that I am going to create one. And it took me a little while to get the hang of it. But once you get the hang of it, they're not hard. So here is mine. I am using 3 different stamp sets, which I normally don't. But this is a pretty intricate card. And I wanted it to all kind of match. So I'm using the Unbounded Love stamp set and the Unbounded Love dies. Sketch butterflies, because I love the hope is a beautiful thing that flutters in the soul and thinking of you. And hearts and hugs, about the hugs, of course. I'm also using the Nested Essentials dies. So let me show you everything you need to make this card. You need 2 pieces of pumpkin pie. I'm using 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. And there's 2 of them, so I guess it's a 1/2 sheet of cardstock. Then here's all my DSP. We'll do this part in a minute. So I have 4 DSP that are 1 1/8 by 1 7/8. That's these. I have 4 DSP that are 3/4 by 2 1/2. That's those. Then I have 8, and I kind of did them in pairs. 8 that are 1 7/8 by 2 1/2. So I'm using I just lost the name of the paper. It's right in the beginning of your catalog, towards the front. Oh, I just remembered. It's called Mediterranean Blooms. It's on page 35. And we're going to use the orange part of the paper. I suppose if you didn't mind the orange part going on the pumpkin pie, I mean the blue part, along with some of that, you can do anything you want because it's going to be your card if you create one. And then I pre-stamped some parts. This is scraps of cardstock. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. I have 2 small nested that I pre-stamped. 1 to write on. Here's another pre-stamped. Here's, if I can get it in my little fingers, another pre-stamped. And then I'm using a paper butterfly. I'm using mostly, the stamping was all done with Memento Black. I am going to use pumpkin pie. So let me show you my card. I have one of the paper butterflies and a saying. You open it up, and this is, I'll show you how I made that. You open it up again, and then finally you open it up again so you can write a little message. This is the card that never ends. You know that song? And it goes on and on, my friend. So you can just keep going. Isn't that fun? So let's move our pieces and parts to the side. Hopefully you've taken a screenshot of the directions. We'll come back to them. Actually, maybe I'll leave it there because I'll show you what we're going to do with this. So we're going to start out. And this one I say short side and long side. So I'm going to start. This is cardstock A, short side. We're going to measure. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the Stampin' Up! Trimmer is that it has some of the measurements on both sides. And I'm going to actually do the 16th, which is that first little tiny mark right after the 1. And I check it a couple of times. And I'm going to park the dark and score it. I'm going to do the same thing, find that 1/16, kind of get it on there to make sure I got it in the right spot. Park the dark. Now it says turn to the long side and cut at 2 3/4. Right there. Now I'm going to use the dark, and I've got those 2 pieces, which I'll put to the side for a minute. Now I'm going to take my B and I'm going to start on the long side. I'm going to park the dark and score them both at 1 3/8. So I'm going to do 1 2 3/8. I'm going to turn it over. 1 2 3/8. Then I'm going to turn it to the short side and cut 2 1/8. I cased these directions from Sunnyside Stamping, which I thought was great. So now I can put my paper trimmer away because I have everything ready to go for my card. I'm going to bring out my silicone mat because that's helpful. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these both ways. If you come to my technique class, I will have these all scored for you. So you don't have to worry about it, but I like to show people how to do it if you want to create this card at your home. Okay, I'm going to do that with all of them. Now, I've seen different ways to put this together, but the way I'm going to show you today seemed like the easiest. I've watched tons of videos. Who created the never-ending card? I have no idea. It's been around for a while. So I'm going to move these 2 pieces to the side, and I'm going to start with this one. And what she did is you're going to line them up so that the score lines match. And in a minute, if I get something wrong, maybe I'll turn it this way. If I get something wrong, I'll show you a way that I can trim an edge or something. So the first thing she's going to do is, she said, when you're putting this on here, you're going to be gluing it in the corner. So you don't want your glue to go farther than this score line, and you don't want it to go farther than that score line. So I kind of put my finger here, and I'm just going to make a little square of glue. I will have glue at my class because I think it's important to use glue for this one. So move this to the side for a minute. And I am going to go along, and one thing she mentioned, and I've tried it several times, if you get this first one really tight and right in the right spot, it makes a huge difference. Okay. Now she's said the same thing. We're going to do it. Kind of get this here. We don't want to go farther than that. So put just a little bit of glue. You can see my glue needs a little bit of clean in there. And budget real tight. The beautiful thing about liquid glue is it gives you a little wiggle room. And see, these are going to work. Oops. That's why we have to hold it for a minute, because sometimes it moves. Let that sit for just a minute. When it's finished, this is what I thought was brilliant, and I had much more luck putting it together, is she turned it completely over. And that's how it works for me. If you try, I tried doing both the top and the bottom at the same time. It was a nightmare. So once again, I'm going to line this up. I can't go past here. It's got to go just a little bit in the corner. Not too far. And you can put it either way. It would be fine if I put it, because I've folded it both ways. I'm putting that down so it matches. If it's not completely perfect, I'll show you in a minute. Then I'm going to lift this little flap up. I'm going to put some glue here. and I'm going to fold it back down. Now, the beautiful thing about the silicone sheet is that glue doesn't stick to it, and that's pretty important. Now, if you get any glue on there, just get it off. Try not to get it on your fingers. I usually do, but if you don't, that's better. So now it's starting to move. I'm kind of gently, because I don't want anything to rip off, I'm kind of pushing it fast. Let me go back. Make sure this is really solid. Don't you love it? You could just keep playing with this forever. I mean, forever. So what I did is how I made it work is I think I started it like this. Let's make sure if that's the next way to go. Nope. I guess it doesn't make a difference. I try to do it the same way each time because for some reason that works for me. So it would be like this. Then when nope. See, I'm doing it goofy. There we go. And now that's upside down. So I got to keep going the right way so it doesn't get all goofed up. It's got to go this way or the writing. And I've tried it different ways and it just doesn't work. So you've got to have it. So it's got to be this and this. So I'm going to check. Is it this? And then does this look right? Nope. Don't you love how I do this on camera? I thought I had it all just made perfectly. All right, so let's try. I know it's not that. Let's try this. Does that look the same? One of these things is not like the other. Okay, so then it goes that way, I think. If not, I'm going to show you how to put paper on. And if it looks different than mine, that's a great thing. Oh, is it that? Is this the craziest card? Nope, it's not that either. Huh? Well, I have to tell you, this is very exciting. I love doing that sort of stuff on camera. Now, you can add designer series paper anywhere you want. You can put it in any order. You can, some people stamped parts. They didn't add the designer series paper. Some people did. You know, it's a total thing. But I got to tell you, it is addictive, and you will start playing with these cards, and you'll have a problem stopping. I'm just promising you that right away. And if you made it for a kid, oh boy, they will love it. So you see what I'm doing. I'm just adding designer series paper. I'm not going to add the whole thing because I don't think you need me to do that. And if you're not sure, you can go around and just make sure the pieces fit. And you don't need to see me glue all the paper on. But these pieces go there. Then you can choose whichever one you want to go next. I will have to tell you, you can use either side of that. So I'm not going to glue all the pieces on, but I think you get the hang of how to do it. Now, let me show you a couple things. When you're doing these and you stamp on a scrap paper, what I'm going to tell you is I just cut it out with scissors. It's not incredible, but it makes a neat saying. You can do something to the end if you want. I just made mine completely square. It doesn't make a difference how you do it. And that's how I did that. And there. So that's how I did it. The next thing I wanted to show you is, and when we make this in a class, we'll all be going, oh my gosh, is it supposed to go on that side or this side? You know what? We'll just have fun with it. I don't think you can make a mistake. I'm going to use this butterfly because I was saving the other full ones for my people in my class. What I'm going to do is just use a sponge dauber and add some ink to the middle. You can do as much as you want. You can make it as dark as you want. It's just fun. So that's how I did that. The next thing I will share with you, a little tip to add glue to a small piece of paper like this, is I'm going to take a sponge dauber. I'm going to add a little, I'm not going to really do it. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here, hit my sponge bobber in, and just go on the back. That way you don't get a ton of extra glue. So a couple of little tips on how to put it together. If you yourself make a never-ending card, say that 3 times, please share it in the comments, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.